and welcome to Inky Fingers TV. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these fun leaf accents that I have right here on this page. I don't know if you can see them or not. But this layout right here is posted on the blog, so if you want to, you can go check it out there. The supplies that we're going to be needing today are ink, and the ink that I'm going to be using is the Distress ink by Ranger. And the colors I'm going to be using are Spiced Marmalade, Fired Brick, Brushed Corduroy, and Dusty Concord. You'll also need your punched out shapes, and it doesn't have to be leaves. You can do any shape, but I'm going to be showing you how to do the leaves today. You'll need tweezers. You'll need clear embossing powder, and I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. I'm going to use the melting pot. But then if you don't have a melting pot, I'm going to be showing you a way with your Versamark watermark ink and your UTEE or your ultra thick embossing enamel. Now, for the melting pot, if you have a melting pot, I have used the gold UTEE and the clear UTEE, so you'll need both of those. I have my scraper right here to mix them together, and then I also have some water with some Copper Perfect pearls in them, and you don't have to mix the perfect pearls in, but you do need water to mix the ink, and we'll show you how to do that in a minute. So gather your supplies and let's get started. Okay, so the first way I'm going to show you how to do this is with the melting pot. So you'll need to go ahead and pour in your gold and your clear. I do a little bit more gold than clear because I don't want the leaf to turn totally gold. I want to see some of the ink underneath. So you'll need to put that in there, and you'll need to go ahead and let it melt. And I'm going to leave that right there to melt while we ink our leaves. Oh, and another thing I need to tell you too is they make inserts for this melting pot, and I like the inserts when I'm doing different projects. But for this specific leaf dipping project, I don't use the tray because I found that when I use the tray, it makes it a little thicker. So if you just use the base, which is what comes with the melting pot without the tray in to heat your stuff, it works a lot better. So I don't know if that made sense, but works better. Okay, so to make your leaves, to ink them up, all you're going to do is you're going to take your 4 ink colors and you're just going to squish them right on your nonstick craft mat. And for this, you'll need the nonstick craft mat. I think people have used wax paper, and I've never used wax paper, and it might work, but I love my craft mat, so I'm going to be using that. So once you have your ink down on your mat, you're going to take your water and you're just going to give it some squirts, not too much. And then you're just going to take your leaf and you're just going to dip it. And see how it has that beautiful color on there? You're going to take your heat gun, which I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you need in the tools. And you're just going to heat it until it dries. It's important to heat your ink and dry your leaf in between dipping sessions, because if you don't, then it'll just make all the ink run together and it'll just be like a gray, muddy mess. So once it's dried, if you like it like this, keep it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dip it in some more red and some more yellow and brown. And I like the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and heat it. Now I have to say too that we figured this out at the scrapbook retreat that I taught at a couple of weekends ago, that your leaf must be completely dry before you try to dip it into the UTEE, because if it's not, it will literally peel off and it won't even stick to the leaf. So make sure your leaf is dry. Okay, once your UTEE is melted, you don't want to stir it. If you stir it, you'll create a bunch of bubbles, and you'll have bubbles on your leaves, which, I mean, if you like that look, you can. It kind of looks like raindrops. Experiment with it. There's no mistakes here. So once that's kind of melted, you're going to take your leaf, and you're just going to dip it. And now this is when this comes in handy. And you're just going to lay it out on your craft mat. You can pull it off there, it'll kind of stick to that. And oh, it's so pretty. I wish you could see it like really up close. It just takes just a second to dry. To cool. Once it's cool, you're good to go. And this one's pretty much cooled. Sometimes you'll get little drips that come off of it, and if it's not perfect around the edges, you can simply either reheat it and it'll kind of even out, or you can take your scissors and trim it off. It's not a big deal. Oh, it's so pretty. Can you see it? And it's that simple. All you do, punch, ink, dry, dip. That's all you do. It is so fast and so simple. There's so many different ways you can do this. You can stamp on the leaf. You can ink it all one color. You can spray ink it, which some of the girls did at the scrapbook retreat. Turned out beautiful. So that's how fast that way is.